The chances of a partial government shutdown are growing after the second deadly shooting by immigration officers in Minneapolis. The current funding agreement expires Saturday morning, and while Congress has passed 6 of 12 appropriation bills, the other half still need to clear the Senate. Among the bills still in limbo is a measure to fund ICE, Border Patrol, and the rest of Homeland Security. Senate Democrats say they're open to passing 5 of the remaining spending bills, but not DHS, at least not without major changes. NewsNation's Joe Khalil is live on Capitol Hill with the very latest. Joe, good afternoon.
And Nick, before the shooting of Alex Preddy Saturday, it seemed like the Senate was very much on track to pass all of these funding bills in a bipartisan way, which was actually a big accomplishment. After the shooting, however, the dynamic has changed entirely, and we've got Democrats now effectively saying they would vote to shut the government down if there is more funding in these government funding bills for ICE and for DHS. They're asking that among those 6, the one DHS bill, which you see on your screen here, would be taken out, and they would vote on the remaining other 5. Now, for Republicans, they continue to say that is a non-starter. This is a package. It would have to go back to the House if Democrats did as they wish and make changes. Republicans are saying they're going to move forward, and the deadline is Friday. Potential government shutdown. They say if it shuts down, it's going to be at the fault of Democrats. Now, right now, today, Nick, what we've got are a handful of Republicans working to try to negotiate some kind of compromise, some kind of off-ramp. And what that looks like, we're not sure. But what Democrats are saying is that they're not moving forward unless there are serious reforms to ICE and potentially to Border Patrol as well that would perhaps change the scenarios from what we've been seeing over the last few weeks in Minneapolis. Take a listen to James Wilkinshaw, who is a Democratic congressman, put forward some ideas to us as to what the party more broadly may be asking for here in exchange for voting to move the funding bills forward.
They shouldn't be wearing masks. They should be identifying themselves. They should be conducting themselves according to use of force standards, just like our local police do in all of their interactions with the American people.
So just a couple of ideas that have already been floated. But one important thing to remember that may be a tough pill to swallow here is that the Department of Homeland Security oversees much more than just ICE. It oversees FEMA, especially in these winter storms, also the Coast Guard, Secret Service, and then attached to the DHS bill, the 5 other funding bills. So you've got the Department of Defense, you've got HHS, you've got Treasury and HUD, which is housing and urban development. This could have serious ripple effects, and if there's a shutdown, we know that federal workers could face the brunt of that as well. That is why you've heard several Republican senators say that even if they may agree there have been problems in Minneapolis and they want oversight, that a shutdown is, in Republicans' view, not the way to accomplish what they want to see in terms of reforms. And I'm going to put up one senator in particular, a Republican Senator Katie Britt, who we have been told is really at the heart of negotiating at this point to try to avert a shutdown. She says, I urge my colleagues to recognize the vital role DHS plays across our country and the many agencies they oversee, like FEMA, Coast Guard, TSA, Secret Service, and more. And she went on to say that shutdowns, as we have seen recently, do not help anyone and are not good for the interests of the American people. So as we continue to watch today for what developments might come out, we've been told and can report that there are ongoing conversations right now between Senate Republicans, Senate Democrats, and the White House as they work to try to figure this out, Nick. But right now, it does seem almost more likely than not that we are headed toward at least a partial shutdown over what Democrats have said is a now red line as they've seen the behavior in Minneapolis.
Joe, Democrats have got to know that the American people just don't have the stomach for another government shutdown. Joe Khalil, live on Capitol Hill. Joe, thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.